Hey everyone, it's Duffy, and you're in Bike Week Nation. Hey, thanks for joining me in another edition of Bike Week Nation. Hope everyone's having a great January. Got a little bit of snow last night, so was originally going to drive my motorcycle down to Florida this weekend with Ray from Winter Biker, but snow kind of got in the way, so that didn't work out for me. But, got to deal with the weather. I want to thank Ray from Winter Biker. He's sponsoring the show, used his sponsorship money to buy a new microphone, bought a new switcher, bought a wireless HDMI transmitter, and basically all you guys need to know is that there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening on the show this year. We're going to be going to a lot of remote locations, so really looking forward to stepping up my game in 2020. Our first remote location is going to be at the Northeast Motorcycle Show, and that's going to take place February 8th and 9th at the Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington. It's an awesome, awesome way to shake off the winter and have some fun and see all your motorcycle buddies in one place. I'm going to be doing my show live from the motorcycle show. Going to do Bike Week Nation live probably between 11 and 11:30 just to give you a taste of what the show's like. And then I'll be there all weekend shooting footage. And obviously that footage will be on the show Sunday night. So really looking forward to hanging out with, Doug from Sick Boy and Kevin. And it's a family-run motorcycle show. It's been going on for years. It's a lot of fun. I've been going there for years, taping footage, and again, just really enjoy it, and look forward to having seeing all my friends out there, and gonna have a really, really great time at the motorcycle show coming up just in a couple of weeks. So why don't I go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and cue up a segment I did from the motorcycle show a couple years ago. So I've been going to the Northeast Motorcycle Show for years now. It's a lot of fun. They used to have it at the racetrack in Rockingham. That's gone away. So it's two shows. It's a great, great value. It's a great way to hang out with other folks. Why don't I cue up a tape and we'll just take a look at a segment I did, I think, 3 years ago. And it involves the Shadley brothers, who are going to be at the Marlboro show. They're really, really talented bike builders. And so why don't we just take a look at this segment from a couple years ago.
So we built the frame and that, made the gas tanks. One side of the gas tank is an oil tank. It's just a little round town hot rod bike. It's a fun little sport stuff. The one next to it's one of my own bikes. That's a 145 cubic inch S&S Tribute motor, twin carbureted, Daytech frame. It was a real lot of work. That motor had to be the frame had to be custom fabricated. In order to put that motor in, it had to be raised 1.5 inches. That bike has approximately 175 horsepower at the rear wheel, give or take. That thing is just a monster of a bike. It's a fun bike to ride on the highway. No good in and around town. It overheats. It doesn't like a city, but it's a real fun bike to take out on the road and romp around with. This FXRT is 1986 FXRT that I got from a guy from Spain. We put a 2007 motor and transmission in it, which I bought out to a 113 cubic inch. It came through as a 96 inch. Put a 6-speed tranny, the whole wire harness out of the 2007. And that bike's coming out in Hot Bike Magazine. They just shot it for the magazine. The bike here is a 57 Panhead, last year rigid. Belonged to one of my very near and dear friends who just recently passed away from cancer. And I bought that from his wife, and that bike will stay just the way that is forever. Whip it in every major magazine. Myself and my brother over here. My son works with us too. He helps us out. He's been building bikes and doing the motorcycle thing with us for quite some time. So he's working his way up to be the next in charge dude here.
All right, so a little bit of Harley Davidson news. Some pictures of the next Harley Davidson electric offerings are starting to slip out in the press. I don't know if folks have seen the Livewire was their first one, but they're coming out. That's over $30,000, so that's really not going to appeal to urban millennials, which is sort of the sweet spot that they're trying to reach. Although it seems like later on this year they're going to come out with additional models. There are no names for the models yet, or at least they haven't leaked out in the press. But they're going to be, looks like they're going to be more appealing to millennials and urban riders. And, this is kind of what they need in the electric offering, something that's going to be a little less expensive than the Livewire and going to be an entry-level Harley Davidson for millennials who they can buy this to zip around town, use it, as a little commuter bike if you live in town. And then as they grow older and more affluent, they can move up to the Harley Davidson ecosystem and possibly get a cruiser. So this, to me, is sort of the future of Harley Davidson's growth strategy. I mean, we talked in a prior show about the electric balance bike as a way to sort of bring younger kids into the Harley ecosystem. And then the electronic mountain bikes and bicycles will be sort of mid-teens. And then these motorcycles, I think, will be geared towards the millennials. And then as the millennials go into their 30s and 40s, they'll graduate up into buying cruisers. At least that's what I think the strategy of Harley Davidson is. And so hopefully it works, because I want to see this great American company succeed and continue to grow. One of the things I want to start doing, just because it's not motorcycle related, but I just like music, and I go out and shoot. I often shoot friends of mine's bands when they're around. The Moonshine Bandits are the subject of this week's music segment. And the Bandits are from the West Coast, and they do hip hop, which is a combination of southern rock and hip hop, and they're really a great bunch of guys. I really enjoy hanging out with them. They're very big in the motorcycle community down south, and this week's music segment is the Moonshine Bandits playing Dead Man's Hand. They played Dead Man's Hand at the Granite City Music Hall. So let's cue that up.
Is that what you told on? Had a point. Come on, Tex. Let me get a hell yeah. Everybody out there, on that wide open highway. All my troubles in the wind. Life that I'm living is a damn man's hand. One more time. Oh, that wide open highway. All my troubles in the wind. Come on. Oh, that wide open highway. Life that I'm living is a damn man's hand. The life that I'm living is a. I said the life that I'm living is a. I said the life that I'm living is a day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're the Moonshine Bandits. God bless you. DJ Smansix, bring that journey in, Sam. We'll see you next time.
Just cue up the next segment here. I'm sorry, I got a new switcher, so I'm kind of just learning as I go. You guys are going to learn with me. Anyone who knows has been watching the show. My buddy Nick Tamposi sponsored a trip to the Harley Davidson Museum on Veterans Day weekend, and we took a train to Milwaukee to see the museum, and he arranged for me to interview Bill Davidson, the great-great-grandson of the founder of Harley Davidson, and that's the source material for my Harley Davidson Museum Minute segments and also my Davidson on Davidson segments. But people who know me know I'm also working on a documentary about the Wall of Death, and probably one of the premier Wall of Death riders in the world is Sergeant Mikey, and he lives in Milwaukee, so I couldn't go to Milwaukee without visiting my friend Mikey, Sergeant Mikey, and he turned me on, brought me to this motorcycle cooperative that he's part of. It's called the Shed, and I'd heard about it. It's kind of legendary, this place. My friend Jack Shit had told me about the Shed, but I'd never been there before, and so while I was in Milwaukee, Mikey took me to check it out, and it's really just a great, genuine, just like an awesome place. I just felt so, man, at home being there. So just wanted to do a little segment on the Shed and let you guys get a feel for what the Shed is all about in Milwaukee. So here we go.
Yeah, we just pulled it up.
Yeah, I almost bought.
We started this goofy thing. It was all because of, we had a bunch of, and it's an ever evolving thing. We have a kind of a little bit of a changing tide all the time.
But you have to be invited.
You have to be, so to be in the Shed, you have to have interest and you got to fit. And every person that's there has to say yay. One person says no, you're done. Yeah, everybody's got to be comfy with whoever's there. So it's kind of weird because in years past we had people waiting. Now we're kind of having to get people because other people have caught, they got into it. Now there's a couple of them here in town.
Yeah, but not like that.
Well, we're kind of the granddaddy, so we're the biggest one in Milwaukee. I mean, I know there's other ones. I've been to 2 or 3 of them in New York, and there's 2 of them in Chicago, 3 of them in Chicago now. It's community garage kind of thing.
I don't know how the idea came up, but the original 10 guys 20 years ago found a place and divided it into stalls. And it was basically just a place where guys could hang out, work on bikes and stuff like that. And we're no club affiliates, none of that. We have nothing against people in clubs or anything, but we don't want colors in here. We want a place that everybody can come and hang out. This is where actually I started storing all my extra stuff, and then now it's where I store all my extra Wall of Death pieces, my bikes. I'll come and work on my bikes here and stuff like that. And I've collected all my memorabilia, just hangs out here too. And it's fun. We throw 2 big parties every year that a lot of people who are kind of influential in the biker community come out to our parties. And it's a good time, man. We meet a lot of friends.
All right, good deal. All right, that's my little segment on the Shed. Milwaukee Mike, you'll see his stories in Cyclosource magazine. Everyone there is really sort of like, interesting. The Milwaukee crew from that Discovery show, gold mining show, Alaska Gold Rush, is also, I believe, has a stall in there. So it's a really, really interesting place, just a genuine place, for people like us to hang out with other people like us. So I want to thank Milwaukee Mike and Sergeant Mikey for doing this and let me hang out in the Shed. It was really, really a cool experience and had a lot of fun.